Hello, how we doing out there today? This is Friday. I am servant. I am Pisces, and I am happy. So, guys, we was talking about Psalms 119, 176. I noticed that I look at a lot of people that are always looking off and looking off. Now I understand why they're always looking off because you can't get it all up here in front of us. But anyways, the chief cornerstones. Okay, we understand that each one of the precepts, statutes, commandments are our life with God, the way that we walk in these patterns and shapes. And as we move forward in each one of them, each one of the precepts is just natural law. It's just what it is as far as what God's got laid out for us in our plan in life. We do lots of things every day for the kids, for our personal selves, but as we come out and come together, as we do everything together as one loving unit community, that's all natural law. That's like you see a stand of trees over there, or a bunch of blackberry bushes over there, plum thickets over there. Well, they grow together because that's where they drop their seeds. Okay? Same thing as community. It's where you put your roots down at, and where you know a lot of people, and you just want things to be better for your community. So, you understand that you're walking in God's natural law. You're receiving the blessings and gifts because you know everybody in your community that may need some help. That might be a problem person or whatever. And you go where, you don't have to poke them with a stick, but you can say, hey, would you like to come to church? Or, hey, we're going to have a basketball game. Just one little simple something will bring them out of that and bring them some joy. Understand your joy is already there. You go over and you help them to understand that they are part of the community. They might not dress the same. They might not look the same. They may have one side of the head shaved and the other side stamped with something. That doesn't mean anything. They're still God's child. So befriending them and just being a better person to everybody in their group brings a bigger group together. They may have a task. They may have some kind of professionalism that you can actually use. Okay? They may know things that you have no idea what they know. But just bringing it together as community. When I said it's going to get tough, it is going to get tough. They say by into 2026, hamburgers going to be $10 a pound. So understand the environments that we're fixing to go to. It's exponentially going to get tough, and then it's exponentially going to get tougher. AI. Look, I'm not too good with something controlling me. Never have been. But what you take from that is what I was saying, having some kind of little bazaar or something with some preppers, with some people that do this stuff for a living, herbologists, people learning how to make probiotics, these things that we need to understand that one day you don't have to worry about what's going on out there. You've got your community all tightened up and understand that what you can do. You're going to have nurses in the community. You're going to have doctors maybe in the community. These things have come together, and as y'all talk about things, it starts a different mindset of group, of community. You're going to have bad people in the community. They'll either come to the bazaar or they will probably end up leaving town. So, the more love you pour out, the more concerned you are with what you're building and doing, is exactly what God's plan is. Because, like I said, back in the day, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, they didn't have what we had. Okay, they might have had some way to throw up some kind of tarp, and that's where they laid at. And then they foraged for everything else every day. So the lost gifts of discernment and understanding what's around you, even making a community garden, okay, will help somebody in your community. Somebody making something for somebody. But everybody that has an interest in anything will start coming to these things. And then that's community. That's how community builds. So we read the Alpha, which is the excellence of God's law. We read Alpha. We're going to go to Beth, which is B. And I can't stress it enough. As you're doing these things, your energy level goes up, okay? And everybody doesn't really understand what energy level means. When you're at the Thanksgiving table and you've seen everybody sitting there eating, and how proud you was that you could actually put on a feed, or you could actually see somebody across the table that you haven't seen for a while, and it made you feel really good, your energy level just went up, okay? You can keep that energy level there all the time. There's another 10,000 levels you can go to if you want to, but just keep your energy level going up. You just caught another timeline, and you won't go down, okay? You'll make mistakes. Everybody does. I make mistakes every day. But when it happens, you turn around and say, "Forgive me, Father," and then you go on. You don't lose nothing. You don't lose your gifts. You don't lose nothing. All these gifts are in front of you. So all you got to do is keep pouring on God's law. Okay, we're going to go to Beth. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? Okay, we talked about that, been a while ago. And a young man has to understand he's got to be taught by his daughter, by his dad and his elders, about what mistakes to make and what mistakes not to make. He's going to make mistakes, so get ready for it. It's going to happen, Captain. But understand that in his youth, as he's learning these things, you're helping him. You're being part of him. A lot of times I was working 7/12s. I didn't get a lot of that time to stay. But when I did, I was home. We was cutting firewood, taking care of pigs. We was gathering eggs. We was doing these things together. But it seemed to be not enough sometimes. So just understand, pouring God into his heart as much as possible. You can imagine seeing God just almost every 10 minutes or 10 seconds. That gets it implanted in his head. If it's not of God, then it's not with him. Okay? And that way he will walk away from dangerous areas and dangerous things along down the road because it's not of God. So put Jesus in his heart. It's pretty simple as that. But the embarrassment is not Jesus or God. The embarrassment's to yourself if you can't say it. But you got to really realize this planet was created for you. You are his child. He wouldn't have gave all this to you if he didn't want you to prosper. So understand that it's really a testimony to every 10 minutes that you can think about God and say his name. Just keep pushing forward. Give it to him. Because if you can't feed him the word, what did you create? That's the thing. What you created. God gave you a child. So what did you create? you can create this young man to be a really good young man, a good gentleman, a good person. And you can teach him how to discern the difference in between Jezebel and an actual true earth angel. Okay? So understand what you're doing, Dad, Mom. It is very crucial to the point that you do help your children in a way that God will take care of it. You just give it to God, you know. But anyways, let's rock on. By taking heed thereto, according to the word, with my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from the commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord, the most righteous and loved. Teach me thy statutes. With my lips have I declared all judgment of thy mouth. So you understand that he's saying, teach me his statutes. Don't let me wander off into sin. Well, that's what you're doing for the young man. You're giving him the understanding of what judgment is and what's coming down the pike. And if you're not, hey, look here, if you're not rehearsed in it, you know John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Say that. Then go get you a Bible and study up a little bit. You know, it's not going to kill you. So understand, we have a job here, and it's a big job, and it's coming, and these things are going to get tough, so you're going to have to get ready to get your community together, the people. All these things that are coming, you know, it's just going to be tough. Get you some chickens, you know, get you some downtown chickens. Have a couple thousand of them running through the street. But the thing that is really the impressing part of it is staying, you know, dedicated to your family, to your life, to what's going on in life. Be aware of your surroundings all the time. Stay on point with your family. Dads, I'm talking mainly to you, and moms too. You know, moms, you got something to say? You know, what about this or what about that? Well, take it to said husband and say, hey, husband, what about this or what about that? Y'all put your heads together. There's nothing y'all can't do when you put your heads together. So, give Mom a brownie port for asking the question, and then buy her some flowers in the morning. So, anyways, I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies. Testimonies. As much as in all riches. I will meditate in the precepts, and have respect unto the ways, and I will delight myself in the statutes. I will not forget thy word. It's pretty simple. They cover the whole base, you know, of statutes, precepts, testimonies. The testimony of Moses, you know, coming down the mountain. As you go through these precepts and testimonies and statutes, you will look it up on your phone, and it'll say, okay, statute this, statute that. Well, it's the testimony that's in it, okay? The testimony that you get out of it for the precept. So God's natural law, just natural law. You're walking in faith. You have God in front of you. You got things going on in your life, and you can just hand it off to God. You can hand it to Jesus. You know, they're right there. Jesus, I need a little help here. Jesus, I need this. Jesus, thank you so very much for dying for my sins on the cross. I mean, there's these words that you say every day. You got to remember, when I said God was the Word and is the Word, and the Word is God. So, what you got to understand is, whenever he spoke things into existence, it happened. Okay? You have got God's grace in you. Okay? That gives you a right whenever you're speaking things, okay, to have it in the same fashion as him through faith. So when you speak this, like, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you can tell this mountain, cast it into the sea. You have that in you. Whether you know it or not, you got it in you. As you come up in power and as you cross timelines and you're happy and nothing can bother you now, okay? These things start coming into fruition, just dropping in front of you. When you manifest it, when you call upon it, when you say Jesus, when you say God, and you start seeing it come to you, don't get spooked, because it will happen. So just understand that, walking in faith in natural law, because your world, okay, is you. You're allowed all these things by the Word of God, okay? You have to understand that you don't have anything outside of that. Yeah, we have the world itself, but you are your own planet on the inside. And whatever you decide to do with that planet, is understanding whether you're walking forward or whether you're standing there with a backpack on full of rocks. So, walking in faith, believing in yourself, okay, and loving yourself. When you love yourself, everybody else loves you. Well, they're going to say the light's too bright. Man, you need to go somewhere else. Because that's what happens. But just understand that you wouldn't be here, okay? You wouldn't be here on this planet. It'd be like being on Mars, okay? You'd be created, then you just evaporate. Well, no. He gave you this planet to live off of, okay? So just keep walking in faith. Keep a necessary eye 360 degrees. Work on your discernment about things that are going on around you. Feeling when you get hit with somebody says, Ma, I sure like that shirt. Well, thank you. Them with pretty shoes. Well, thank you. That's an energy level bump. And as you get into those bumps, you get to a certain spot and you're good. You're happy. And now you're giving happiness to everybody else. So just share it. Take care of your mom and dad. Take care of your grandpa and grandma. Be patient. Do your due diligence. And everything will work out just fine. Let's see. Let's go with responsibility. And let's see. Directive. Something. Something. That's a real good one. That's a state. That's a statute. Something. Okay. Responsibility. Well, I guess that's pretty simple. Responsibility is something. We're instructed to have responsibility of something. Our children, our household, our husbands, our wives, queens and kings. We have responsibilities, a lot of them. But put God's law or natural law in front of you. First thing when you talk to God every morning, Father, lead me in my path today. Show me my direction. Let me be a better man, or let me be a better woman. Let me receive today. I have an open heart. And you will be poured with blessings. So just understand that a lot of people out there, they say, well, this, well, that, well, this. Look, walking in faith, Jesus on your left hand, God on your right hand, and angels everywhere. It's not that hard. Understanding the Word of God is not really that hard. You just understand that what you read and what you take in and what you implement. Okay? Same thing as picking up a tool bucket and not having a pair of channel locks or a pair of 440s. You know that you're going to have it. You took it out of the house to fix a lawnmower. Well, we all know you don't take things out of your bucket. You got a extra set of tools at the house. That's a tool that you need, okay? So use that tool, whatever it may be, whatever psalm you read, whatever passage you read, whatever testimony you read. When you're having lunch, turn your phone on, turn it to Psalms where everybody can hear it, okay? Start changing the atmosphere around you. Same thing goes for you ladies if you're working in the office or you're working at home. I watch Reflections 24/7. It's just words on there of the Bible. And that's all I watch. So, the thing that you're getting meat all the time. But you're also spreading, a picnic table out there for everybody else to cover from. So, just remember, every part that you do, knowing or unknowing, you'll be getting blessings and gifts because you're walking in natural law. God's right there in front of you. He's not going to let you stumble. Whenever you walk forward and you hit a brick wall, your 2 cups are spilled in front of you. Well, there's 1,000 more behind you. You just turn around and go the other direction. It's as simple as that. And guys, you lose your job, you're upset. Don't be upset. There's a reason why you lost the job. Discern it, take it in, understand it. Maybe it was an ROF, or maybe it was something completely other different than that. But maybe you lost it. Maybe they fired you. Who knows? Remember this. Try not to be upset about it, because that's a gift and a blessing in itself. You might have been short on the check going home, okay? But there was a reason for it. It was not made for you. It was not there for you. You was just filling in, or whatever it was, but don't be upset. Say, thank you very much, Father. What's next? It's all you got to do. And He will, probably by the time you get home, you'll have a phone call. Somebody else puts you to work. Or you'll make a phone call and you'll go right straight back to work. It's as simple as that. If you don't go to work for 2 weeks, then there's a reason for that too. Okay? It's a lesson that you have to digest. Okay? So just remember, natural law is within all realms of itself. Okay? No matter whether you have the job, not have the job, whatever happened to make you sit there for 2 weeks, understand that that was something that God wanted you to know or understand. So you're taking it in as food. What you don't see it, all you can see is the bills stacking up. I understand that too, but God said He'll make a way. Okay? Don't worry about it. It's a worry that you want to try to get over with, but the actual ramification of it all is to understand that you have something to understand out of this whole deal. What I've done on the last job, why I don't have this job, or why I don't have that job. Did you just burn your bridges as you went through? Well, maybe it's time to change jobs. Maybe it's time to do something different. But understand that that is discernment. That is you and God talking about it, getting to the heart of the matter. And it's hard to understand that when you're a young man and you don't know. All you know is you lost your job and your wife's got to have this and the kids got to have that. Understand that discernment is stopping and listening very close. That what you did or what that was happened up there, again, it might have not even been your fault. Maybe it's somebody that just wanted to bump you and put his nephew in. Who knows? But understand, if he bumped you, there'll be another job here pretty quick. Okay? When I told you it was going to get hard and tough, look, put some nickels and dimes back. It's going to, it's going to get expensive. Things are going to get kind of a little bit weird and freaky, But just understand that God has you. Put him in you 100%. Jesus is right there when you call, okay? It will work. I promise it will work. I've done it all my life. It was always there. Always there. If I needed something, it was always there. So just walk in faith and understand who you are and where you're at. So, anyways, we'll go to Jamal, or Jamel, and that will be C. That's Greek. Yep. Deal bountifully with thy servant. Okay? Because that's what you are. That's what all you people out there are, servants. Okay? Remember, put that name on and wear it proudly as a servant. Because if you do wear that proudly as a servant, your blessings and gifts will be heaped on you. So just remember, walking in faith, taking the chief cornerstones, reading them backwards, forwards, upside down, however you got to read them, however it makes sense to you. And as we talk along at all these different things and all these different issues, your eyes will start opening more and more and more, and God will be inside of you more and more and more, and Jesus will be on top of your head going like this, okay? So, anyways, 27 minutes. Can I talk for another 2 minutes? Anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Y'all are very good people all around the world. Y'all are blessed. You are children of God, the Most High. He loves you so very much, and there's nothing you can't do. I am servant. I am Pisces. Have a good one.